China may be setting itself on a course for lower growth, but that's not diminishing the desire of Chinese companies to get their hands on reliable sources of minerals. However, they do remain worried about the Australian government's mining tax shake-up. Take Sinom Holdings, for example, which is about to start mining for iron ore in the Midwest of Western Australia. Andy Zhang is Sinom's president. Andy Zhang, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
The Midwest of Western Australia is a relatively new mining region. Why did your company, why did Sinom decide to take a lead in developing the Midwest?
I think this is quite simple. We are in this industry, doing this kind of business, and we recognize the potential there. You can have some good projects built there, especially in the iron ore industry.
Until just a few weeks ago, the Australian government was proposing to put a 40% tax on what it termed the mining industry's super profits. How much concern did that proposal cause in China?
Firstly, we think this is something that Australia as a country, okay, if they make this kind of decision, it's understandable and we should respect, okay? But on the other side, okay, we think the Australian government and the people, they want to make better use of the resources. It's fine, but they also want to welcome all these investors, okay? Make sure the investments are still going there, okay? So I think finally we need to have some kind of balance. For us, we are newcomers. We will build everything from scratch, from a very greenfield project. So we're gonna invest a lot. Okay, so it's something very important that we think the NPV is still can be justified. Okay, this is what happened.
The government has subsequently modified its plans to a 30% resources rent tax. Can your company live with that, or do you still have concerns?
We still have concerns. Okay. I think as a Chinese private company, okay, we try to be very much respect the decision of the Australian government and people. But what we want to say is that not only we care about the, like the formula as everybody else, you know, no need for us to say too much. We are quite small. BHP, Rio Tinto, they already said a lot. But another thing we concern is we don't think that it's 100% fair that we as a newcomer bring a lot of capital, taking a lot of risk, and we have not earned money yet. And we should afford something within the same formula as somebody already in operation, have more certainty, and in the history earned a lot of money.
What about the fact that you'll be mining magnetite, which has higher processing costs than hematite? Would your project be viable, remain viable, if magnetite is subject to the new tax?
We know that to build a magnetite project, you need more capex, right? But the reality is what kind of choice you have, okay? There's a small issue that normal investors, they don't understand is about the niche market, because the magnetite project, once beneficiate, they go to very high Fe content. And this will go to a very high-end market, which is called the pellets market, okay, in the world. You see, the world can still continue to supply a lot of iron ore, but you don't have high grade, okay? So we have a lot of merits. I don't need to go too far in this topic. But the other thing what you're talking is, okay, talking about the tax, the new tax, okay? I strongly recommend the government to think that to encourage us to raise capital, invest in this kind of very capital-intensive projects, we should have some special treatment for this kind of especially magnetite projects. It's good for the country, for Australia.
The West Australian government is lobbying Prime Minister Julia Gillard to have hematite excluded from the operation of the new tax, that would have to please you.
Yeah, I think this is not only I will be pleased, I think this is something they should do. Otherwise, okay, because you see the magnetite projects is more, okay, they will build a lot of infrastructure. If you don't give people enough incentive, then the infrastructure, especially in the Midwest area, won't be built. And once it's built, then it will benefit the WA for many, many years. We should catch the momentum, I think.
Andy Zhang, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jim.